Hey friends, happy Friday night. Carolyn is going to be joining us here in a few minutes, and so I'm going to invite her in and we're going to chat a little bit. So this is a great opportunity for you if you're stuck or struggling, if you have a question about the nutrition plan or something, like this is a great time for you to ask. If you're struggling with motivation, like drop that below as well. And we'll kind of cover it, and then we'll talk a little bit about Carolyn's story. I hope I'm in the right place. This happens sometimes. I'm drinking a venti coffee, which means I probably won't sleep. Who's my viewer? Who's my viewer? Carolyn, are you here? Whoever's there, drop a heart so I can see who it is. Darn this thing. It's not showing me. Hi, Robin. Okay, here's Carolyn. Let's add, oh, it's a new button. Okay. Yes, I'm joining Carolyn. Or I'm inviting Carolyn. The suspense. Dum, dum, dum. Hey, Jennifer. It's connecting. There you are. Hello.
Hello.
You're not in a downpour like the photo I chose of you.
That's funny. That made me laugh.
I love that photo. It's like just the authentic joy-seeking Carolyn. I love that about you. So I'm glad. I'm glad you're here with us. I'm glad that you're our featured person tonight. How's your day been?
Not bad.
Good. Good. Cool beans. All right. Well, is there anything you want to talk about? Do you want to share a little bit about your story or your journey, or I don't know, you have the floor. I'm just here. I'm a prop.
I'm better if you ask me questions.
Okay, I'll ask you questions. Okay, so for those of you who haven't, because we have a lot of new faces in this group right now, so you want to talk a little bit about how we met? In a bar? No.
I met Sarah. Yeah, well, we met in a Facebook group that doesn't exist anymore, but it was a real safe place for mamas, no mama drama. And you had a message, and it really spoke to me.
Yeah. And what was the message, Carolyn?
It was in the throes of night wakings and crazy motherhood hamster wheel, not paying any attention to myself, and you got it.
Yeah.
I mean, you were a little bit further ahead down the road than I was. You'd just been there.
Yep.
And it was one of the posts that you make all the time now, but and I see myself in it.
Yeah.
And I saw myself in it then.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And so you joined this group, and you were a little hesitant. You were about the Shakeology. You were like, I don't know about this stuff. I'm going to drink it, and then
I'm gonna drink it because you're so passionate about it. And I had all the objections, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
I eat my food, thank you. I don't do supplements. It wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna do any of the things. It was too expensive. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. I had them too.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then because you were so passionate about it, and there was that, money back guarantee, I thought, okay, well, I'll try it. It won't work, and then we can just move on.
Yeah. But it worked.
But it did all the things.
Yeah. Yeah. And it
absolutely.
It's not even about the workout plans. It's not about the nutrition. It's not about Shakeology. It's about rediscovering who you are and what you're meant to be, and kind of learning to step into that person. And, hey, Whitney, it's accepting yourself where you're at in the journey. And I feel like that's, for me lately, that's been resonating so much. It's a struggle for all of us.
For me, it was a very slow, which is what it needed to be, but it was a very slow journey.
Yeah.
I did one piece of it at a time before I could figure out how all those pieces, how they all went together.
Yeah. And that's okay, because it's your journey. And so it's like, your journey isn't going to look like mine or Whitney's or Holly's, like that's amazing, right? Everyone has their own journey, and you have to, it has to unfold it the way it's supposed to. But the flip side of that is that you have to kind of trust your gut and like be willing to do something that's uncomfortable that maybe your head is afraid of or you don't feel like doing. Right?
Well, and the good part for me, and it's just as important now, but in a different way. But when I started was the group here.
Yeah.
Because chances are there was someone who had already just been through it or was going through it or was, just somewhere in the path, either just behind or just in front or right at the same place.
Yeah.
That you could connect with or vibe off of or bounce something off of and get inspiration from that.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
And then you became a coach. I love it, for the discount. First for the discount, and then it kind of like morphed into something different, and now look at you. Like now it's transformed your life. Truly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just I started for the discount because why not?
Right.
And no brainer. And slowly, I even when I started to thought, okay, yes, I could do coaching because I was kind of doing that in my other career anyway.
Right.
I was stuck in two worlds for a little while, but then once I made the switch to, it was still working for me, but I had to make that switch in my brain, right?
Yeah.
And it's especially what I love about it is all the personal development.
Yes.
Because I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it without it.
Yep.
I think that the nutrition piece is one thing and the fitness piece is another thing, but without the mindset shift, it all would have fallen apart. I mean, it still falls apart. Like, I've had a really rough week, a rough month, really.
Yeah.
But it's that mindset piece.
Yeah.
That you're able to sort of get back in the game.
Yeah.
And not, without that, it wouldn't work. Yeah. I'm a completely different person.
You are completely, and even from like 6 months ago, you're an entirely different. It's been really cool to watch your like butterfly journey, and like really step into who you wanted to be, who you want to become, and who you're still becoming. Like it's really cool to see, and you're a lot like me, where you've had some fears and some stuff like that that's kind of like handcuffed you, and you've like made the conscious decision that you're going to be stronger than that and get uncomfortable and do the thing that makes you want to puke in your mouth and make that your bitch, right? So high fives. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm doing a lot of things I never would have thought, there's no way.
Yeah. Don't put that on your Christmas
a year ago,
card,
6 months ago.
That one, no, don't put that on your Yeah. But for those of you that don't know, Carolyn, she's been working with Brendan Bouchard, who we all love. Like, he's amazing, right? You've been doing personal coaching with him as well, just to elevate your own personal life. And you had a big fear around driving, and you're conquering that. Like, you're actually doing driving lessons, which I'm so proud of you. Like, it's so cool how all these little pieces have spilled into all other areas of your life, and you've bloomed. I'm so proud of you.
Well, and now I just kind of use that as, well, if I can do that, then there's no reason I can't do this other thing, or because it was way above it on the list. And that is the most awesome book ever.
This is her book. This is the book that rocked her life. And it's such a good book. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this. What's wrong? Oh, it's sick. I'm sorry. Can you go see Charlotte and she'll give you a Band-Aid? Go see Char.
I'm gonna need like a lot.
Okay. I'll be with you in a few minutes.
I keep this.
Oh, I'm sorry. 500 Band-Aids. Hashtag mom life. Okay.
Robin had a good question.
Oh, what was it?
Can you see it?
I can see it. Do you feel you had to seek people out or people found you? Are you talking to me, Robin? Or are you talking to Carolyn? Hey, Tiffany. Okay, so here's the deal. If you're asking about coaching, I feel like that's what the question is. Do you feel like that's what her question is?
I think so.
Okay, so the cool thing about coaching is you're really just working on your own journey. It's your own journey, and it's not going to look like anyone else's. And so when you decide that you want to coach, there's different levels of coaching, right? But like when you want to be a coach like me and Carolyn, which means you want to help other people, it's like paying it forward because it's changed our lives so much. And so you just start to share authentically like some of your heart and your real. And sometimes that means kind of like shining a light into the dark corners that you feel so embarrassed about or so anxious about. But your people not everyone, but just your people are going to relate to that so profoundly, which is why Carolyn and I clicked in that other moms group, because we just got it. Not everyone got that post, but it resonated with her. And that was my intention, was I don't need to reach everyone. I just need to reach the people like me that are ready and that need to hear it, that are ready to, like, you know, live more fully. And so it's not like you're out hunting people or anything. If anything, I feel like we're farmers and we plant hope. Like, we just go around planting seeds and sharing with people, and it's their journey, right? And so people will come to it when they're ready, and if they're not ready, that's okay. It's not like, you know, get on the bus or we're going to run you down, right? What would you add to that?
They might be ready. Just exactly with the planting seeds. I mean, someone you talk to now, 6 months from now, a year from now, they're still watching your journey.
They are.
And yeah.
Yep.
It's their path, and you know, I mean, it's not for everybody.
No.
Right? But
it's not.
And you're only talking to the people who get you.
Who get you.
And that was a big thing for me to figure out, that I didn't have to worry about all the people.
No.
And all the things. No.
And if you try and reach all the people, your message gets so watered down that it's no longer, it doesn't affect anyone if you're trying to reach all the people. And the thing I've found is it's liberating and it's freeing to share your heart and to share those things that are just really, like, we're not telling you have to go out and puke your life on social media, but if you want to make a difference, if you want to pay it forward, at some point you do make posts that are uncomfortable, but there's something freeing in that and liberating in that, because you're going to get the messages and people are going to comment and be like, wow, like, I thought it was just me. And it's such a cool thing to just share your wheel.
You end up finding out things about your friends or people, you know, that they have not shared a piece of their heart.
Yeah.
And then because you do, then you make a connection.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you inspire them to share something about themselves, and it reaches someone that needs that. Because I feel like there's no such thing as coincidence. Like, we all come into our lives, into each other's lives, for a specific reason. And so maybe you come into someone's life, or you come into this group for a specific reason. Like, you're going to see a message, or a post is going to resonate with you, and maybe you'll make a post and it will resonate with someone, and it will be that post that hits that person. It's like a soul hit, and it's exactly what that person needs to hear or read or see or whatever. It's cool. It's so crazy cool. But like you said, it's not for everyone, and we're not out there like trying to pimp it. Like, it is for everyone. Like, it's your own journey, and that's the thing I just can't stress enough. Like, it's your own journey. Yep. Okay, so I want to talk more about this book before my child interrupted. So I know a lot of the ladies in here are in the other group, so we just read it. But, like, is there anything in here that you want to, like, share with everyone? Like a truth nugget or...
Of course, I didn't bring my book with all my notes.
I know.
Yeah, you know,
that's okay.
Because why would I? But you know, I think the one thing that's really working for me right now is the concept of anchor thoughts. And I'm not really using it the way she's intended in the book. I'm not really using it for you know, getting on the airplane type anxiety.
Yeah.
Or, you know, but I am using it to work through you know, the things that I'm nervous about doing, or the things that I'm afraid of doing, or just, I really like the idea of an anchor thought, because I'm thinking of how I'm going to feel after it's done, or if I'm, you know, trying to achieve something, that I'm thinking about how I'm going to feel when I do actually accomplish that, like, especially with the driving.
Yeah.
You know, I've used it a lot for the driving. How am I going to feel when I come in the house after I've done the driving lesson, or how am I going to feel when I'm, like, that anchor thought thing is really helping me.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so towards the end of the book are two things that have really struck a nerve with me that I just keep feeling like I need to share it with this group because it resonates so much. One of the things she talks about in here is how you have to break up with the way you're feeling. Like, you're never going to feel like doing something, and you have to kind of get out of your own way. And that's true with your fitness journey, or like working on your relationship or your budget or whatever, right? Like, we never feel like doing it. Like, it's not necessarily the sexy, fun, like, creative thing. Like, sometimes it's in the drudgery that the most amazing things happen. And in my own life, I found that the things I'm most scared of usually tend to be the most magical. And so if you can push through that fear or anxiety or whatever it is that's holding you back, as long as it's not like, obviously listen to your common sense, like don't play in the street or something, but it just, it pays off so much, right? So there was one thing in here I highlighted about how small things are not small at all. Those are the most important things of all, and they all add up. Pushing yourself to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on the small things gives you confidence in the big scheme of things. And so I just feel like that's so true. Like sometimes you have to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and tell yourself, I'm going to push play, or I'm going to drink my shake, or I'm going to, show up and go for a walk with the kids, or be present, or listen to a podcast. Like, it's those small daily actions, the one workout at a time, the one meal at a time, all those little things, the small things are what really add up to the big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then the other one, I like this. She said something like, you need to ask yourself your heart first. Ask yourself the heart first question. Am I ready to commit to this? Instead of the feeling first question. Do I feel ready to do this? You're never going to feel ready. You're never, because you're going to be in your own way, and it's like ego and fear and anxiety and all those things that we kind of like want to stay in our comfort zone, even if that means we're really uncomfortable in our skin or unhappy or feeling stuck. Like, it's going to take some discomfort to move out of that into the next realm. And you are like a poster child of that, of like, just, it hasn't been fast, but that's okay, because it's your journey and it has to be authentic to you. And so it's been a little slower, but it's been huge and epic. And I would love to like hear what your husband has to say. Like, wouldn't that be cool to hear the things your kids, like how they've seen you grow? And their kids are little, so they probably wouldn't be able to be like, oh, I can see this difference in my mommy. But
yeah, no, they're too little.
It ripples into all areas of our lives. It's not just, how your clothes fit or.
But it's interesting because they do notice, not necessarily changes in character or, eating frogs. They wouldn't, that wouldn't make, but they've noticed they notice what you're doing in terms of your, like, the little eyes are always watching, because they, Sam in particular, like, will ask to do yoga.
Yeah.
Mama, when are you going to do your yoga? Will you do yoga with me? Especially when they're home, home on sick days. He wants to do yoga. Or Riley will say, well, I think you should do something with weights today. Yeah. Because they like to hold the little weights, right?
Yeah.
And we were taking a walk the other day, and my mother-in-law had recently passed away. And so death is a topic that comes up, quite often, because they're 5. They just randomly fire off thoughts, right? Yeah. And so they said, well, Mama, you're gonna live a long time, right? Because you're exercising and you're taking care of yourself. And I thought, well, that was an interesting message.
Yeah. That's a social media that's a social media post.
Right?
I love it.
So it was like, but we're not worried about you because you're exercising. So you're good.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I love that. And you're right. They're always watching. And so that's kind of like, when I first started, I didn't want to. I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to try something different, because what if I failed? And there were so many things that I I'd ordered workout DVDs, and they sat on the console, and like, I just never did anything. But I finally realized it wasn't just about me. It was about the little eyes that were watching. And I didn't want to raise girls that were like, thought it was acceptable to not feel good in their skin. And I didn't want certain words to be part of the vocabulary. So I've always been really careful about that. Like, we don't work out, we don't talk about things being skinny in our house. Like, we work out to be strong and to feel good. And, they understand that sometimes you don't always want to, but you do. It's like work ethic and resilience and all these little lessons that you're teaching them without even really trying, just because they're watching and they see what happens. And it's awesome. Yep. And then the personal development piece, like, we're just filling up their tool chest with epic tools, right? Because as we practice it and as we learn it, like, we're teaching it to them, and they're going to go out and echo it and mimic it. And yeah.
They love affirmations. I mean, I know yours are that much further ahead because they can read.
Yeah.
Fine art. I can't read yet.
Yeah.
But we do affirmations, and, they love them.
Yeah.
We try, and I do a few little ones when I drop them off at school, and
Aww.
and
what do you
they're
say?
listening. I just say stuff like, you know, remember that you're awesome and you're special and you're a good friend.
Yeah.
You can do hard things.
Yeah.
And they repeat them and they like them. And, you know, then it sometimes morphs into, you know, I'm an orange or I'm a rocket ship. But,
Right?
like,
Hey,
right.
go for it. I'm a banana.
But even like Sam this morning said to me back, when you're awesome too, Mama. Or, you know, like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
listening.
They are.
Yeah.
They're always paying attention. They're always paying attention. It's crazy cool. I love it. Awesome. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Robin, did we answer your question? Okay. Oh, there's more questions. Oh, if I scroll, I can see more questions. Okay. Oh, we're unicorns. How did you find Eleanor? Since Eleanor is one of your...
How did I find it? Eleanor and I met a few years ago in a professional development course, and we became friends on Facebook, and she was following my journey and I was following her journey, and yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah. And then
we don't
you just have,
we live in different cities, you know, we live in the same province, but we live in different cities, so we don't have the opportunity to see each other, but yeah. I think we were meant, just like what you said, people don't come into your lives through, you know, we met actually on the plane going down to the course. We didn't know we were going to the same course.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think our lives were meant to be connected.
Oh, totally. Totally. Yep. Crazy cool. So how would you say your life is different because of this group and Beachbody and just, you know, all of this? Let's pretend we're on the National Wake Up Call, Carolyn.
Yeah.
Oh, the lights just went on.
I saw that. There's just really, it's a completely different, there just really aren't that many words, actually.
Yeah.
That, because I was so lost before.
Yeah.
You know, because before I had either been the career person, and then I became, you know, the twin mom.
Yeah.
And there was no career, and then I was just the twin mom, and it was, you know, it was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like with two babies, and
Yeah.
like I don't even remember their first year. It was just a blur.
Survival.
You know, and so I don't, and I was just so lost.
Yeah.
And really uncomfortable in my own skin, and I just had so far to go. I thought, you know, I was cropping myself out of all the pictures. There's always a way to put two kids in front of you.
Yep.
And you've got two, you can just always.
Yeah.
And I regret that now.
Me too.
You know, I regret that big time now. And I didn't have a sense of purpose or.
No.
And I didn't leave my house, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just can't even tell you how different it is now.
Yeah.
Right?
It's crazy
Yeah.
cool. It's crazy cool. It's so much more than just workouts and food
and the friend, I mean, never mind anything like, I mean, the friends that I've met through here are now, you know, my friends.
We're family. Oh, you're my
Yeah,
sister.
right.
I
Like,
love it. Yeah, it's crazy cool.
Yeah.
Crazy cool. Okay, what workout are you doing right now? Not right now, but like today. This week
I've been doing because I'm going to start next week with the Little Obsessed.
Right.
And so I decided to do, because of, you know, starting with November, I thought, well, I did for 3 days. So I've been doing the challenge du jour.
Oh, okay. Cool. What was
So,
today?
yeah.
Do you remember?
Today's, I didn't do the one because I think it was a double time one and I was here by myself.
Yeah.
So I went way out of my, because I thought I'll pick one from, you know, one of the other days from the week.
I do that.
And a couple of them were like an hour long, so I didn't have an hour. So, you know, and one of them was ones that you needed like a chin-up bar, and I don't have, you know, that. So anyways, I pretty much had to choose a cardio axe from Brazil Butt Lift, which I am not a dancey person.
Me neither.
I'm so uncoordinated. I just
was it fun?
It actually was fun.
Good.
I was surprised, and it wasn't as technical as I thought maybe it could have been.
Yeah.
So, which was good for me,
Yeah.
good for me because I'm so highly undancy.
I know, me too. I love
just,
it. Okay, well, tomorrow you have to report under this thread, how sore you are, because it's always fun to try something new, and your muscles are like, whoa, what just happened? So, are you already sore?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Right?
I'm good now, but we'll see you in the morning, yeah.
You're gonna be cracking walnuts with that booty by Christmas. Totally. Okay, so we've been talking a little bit, and we'll get off soon, but you have a really good Shakeology story. Will you share your Shakeology, like how you were allergic to everything, and then you drink Shakeology and you're not?
Yes, well, yes, I'm one of those. If it moves or grows, I'm pretty much allergic to it.
Mm-hmm.
But my kids want to get a cat, and I actually would like to get a cat now because we have mice. So
Oh yeah,
cat eats
you need
mice.
a cat.
Yeah, I'd like to get a cat. So I thought, well, I will just go and I'll get tested just to no, we can't have a cat because Mom is allergic.
Yeah.
And I went, and long story, I didn't react to anything. I was sitting there waiting because usually it pops up immediately, right? All the things, and nothing was happening. And I thought, well, this is very odd.
That is odd.
And the allergist thought it was odd. Are you taking any supplements? No. Like, are you sure you haven't taken an antihistamine today? Because no, I haven't taken it. And up before now, I would be jazzed on extra strength Claritin about 10 months of the year.
Yeah.
Like winter here is my happy place because nothing grows, and therefore
everything is
I
dead.
I can take January to March off. Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so he was convinced that I'd taken an antihistamine, but this was in February, so I don't normally take them in February. And then it dawned on me, oh yeah, but I am drinking Shakeology. So he went, oh, okay, 1 minute. It came back, and he said, oh, it seems that some of the ingredients in here are acting as a natural antihistamine.
So cool.
And at that, I went, okay.
So, yeah, I have more energy.
Yeah, and at this time I hadn't done all the research, so now I know some of the ingredients in there, and there's a mushroom in particular that's responsible for the antihistaminic properties. Yeah. But I haven't I haven't taken any antihistamines this fall. Wow. I didn't take any last fall. I didn't take any with the Christmas tree in the house.
Where's your cat, man? Are you gonna get a cat then? Come on.
Yeah, I think the cat's next.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, so I went from super allergic to everything and popping antihistamines every 5 seconds to I hardly ever take them. I take them now when I go to the zoo because Yeah, right. Or some places when I go away because I'm just not sure. But really, the amount of money that I was spending on antihistamines and I didn't like putting them in my system. No. But it was a necessary evil. But now I hardly ever take them.
That's epic. That's amazing. Yeah. Robin's asking if you had peanut allergy. No peanuts, right?
No, the only food allergies I have are onion and garlic and that family.
Has that been impacted at all, or no? You haven't tried it?
I'm very nervous to try because it's not worth it. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, good. Well, you have the best Shakeology story out of, I think, all of us, so thanks for sharing. Is there anything else you want to share?
I had a big problem with rosacea, actually.
Oh.
Also. Yeah. And while I still have a little bit of that. The difference, like if you had seen pictures of me from then to now. Yeah. It's cold still, and if I have wine sometimes, but big difference there.
That's awesome. Cool. Terrific. Cool beans. Is there a quote or anything you want to leave us with? Anything that inspires you?
No pressure.
I know, right? I'm totally putting you on the spot. Sorry.
No, I have nothing.
Join the journey. Right?
Yes. Join the journey.
Yeah, it's just about showing up where you're at and figuring it out along the way. Because nobody, I didn't have it figured out when I started, and neither did you. And it's kind of just like you've been faithful and showing up to your own journey every day, and it's led you to a place that you never even imagined. So if you can kind of lean into the hard, the scary.
And I'm comfortable now enough. I mean, I've had a really kind of rough patch, and I've sort of fallen off the wagon a little bit. but I feel comfortable knowing that I know how to get back.
Yeah. Totally.
Right? Like, so it doesn't become that
snowball. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we all can relate to that, where you just, at some point, you're like, forget it. Like, whatever. I'm just going to eat my Snickers and my peanut butter from the jar, right? But no, it's okay. It's just showing up to your journey, and it's knowing that you are accepted and loved, and, like, welcome back. Like, it's all right. It doesn't mean you failed. You don't get kicked off the island. We don't throw you off the bus. So, yeah. Cool. Well, I'm super proud of you, and I'm so glad you're part of our tribe. You make my heart very happy, and it's just been really cool getting to know you, and you teach me stuff all the time, so thanks. Thanks for that. And thanks for drinking wine with me when we were trapped in rooms when we go on trips together. Carolyn and I went to Beachbody Summit this last year. It's like Mecca for Beachbody coaches, and you learn all kinds of cool stuff. And my favorite part about it is they bring in like personal development, like rock stars, like Brendan Burchard, Shailene Johnson. I just saw Mel Robbins is speaking at their leadership conference or elite conference right now. So like truly,
I saw that.
Yes, Darren Hardy was at ours. So I mean, if you do anything if you do personal development, those are pretty popular names. Like Brendan, he like mentors Oprah, and who else? I don't know, lots of people. But I don't know where I was going with that. I totally got distracted. Oh, so we went to our Beachbody Summit this last summer, and we stayed in a house together, and it was like an Airbnb, right? And I didn't realize when I booked it that the people like live there. But they had their own quarters, and so we figured, well, they'll just be off at someone else's house, and we'll have the run of the house. And they showed up one night with their fish, and they started cooking with onions and garlic, and then they were like, they took over the downstairs and watched Game of Thrones, which apparently is a very long TV show. So we sat upstairs, and we Facebooked, we went live, and we drank wine and ate chocolate-covered almonds. It was one of my favorite parts of the trip. It was really fun. So, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's silly now, but the cool thing about all of this is that it's not just tools to rock your life. It really will transform your life, and it will connect you with people who are like-minded, and that's really important because there's so many people out there that are negative and looking to complain about things, and you got to really select. You have to select your tribe because those people are going to impact you. True. All right, friend, I'm gonna go wrangle my children, but thanks for joining us. If any of you have questions for Carolyn, you can drop them in the comments, and I'm sure she'll chime in and answer them. And I want to know how you feel tomorrow after your Brazilian butt lift.
Can you
take a selfie when you can't get off the toilet? Just take a selfie. Like, not really. That's okay. Some boundaries.
Yeah.
All right, friend. Have an awesome night. Thanks for joining us.